I love glass. I mean, look at it all. I got a lot. I've got even more than what you can see here. I mean, actually, that's a green screen and I photoshopped it all. But I really love glass pieces. I have a ton of them. I've used a ton more than I even have. Here's my tier list of the best and worst ones. There's a lot of different types of glass out there. And look, before we get into it, don't forget to check out my Twitch stream. I go live every night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for a sesh. We're probably going to be using some of these tonight. So I got a lot of options here. Some are going to be similar. Some are going to be different. Some are going to be better for certain types of situations. Let's start getting some going. Now, I got to start with the quad bubbler here. I recently just broke mine and I'm sad about it. It's one of my favorite pieces. It's more on the novelty side, less on the daily driver side. Like if you use this every day, it's a pain to clean. But when you want to do something fun or something cool for a video, this is a nice piece to grab. I'm going to put this on A tier for multi-stage bubblers. This has a removable bowl, which makes it a lot easier to repack. But let's look at a regular bubble here. Single stage hammer bubbler, not my favorite. Actually, without the removable bowl, it's kind of a pain. The water on these things gets so dirty so quick. They do end up being pretty nasty. I think I'm dropping this bad boy to C tier. The novelty of it being a quad or a multi-stage isn't there for me. Low tier. Now, another option I know a lot of people like, let's grab some dry pipes here. Let's show you where we put in dry pipes. We got Sherlocks, we got Gandalfs, we got spoon pipes here. I prefer water percolation with flour. I think concentrate you can get better dry hits with, but if I'm doing flour, especially combustion, there's gotta be water. I'll put a regular spoon pipe at D tier. D for Scooby Snacks. D for don't want it. Look, we're gonna stretch that dry pipe out a little bit and go with the Gandalf style. Gandalfs are actually cooler. They have a more stretched out glass. That longer glass chamber is going to give you more time for the smoke to cool off. Also, you're going to look cooler. But Gandalf, I have a few attachments for my proxy that are shorter and longer ones. I like the Gandalf one. It's fun, bro. You feel wizardly when you hit it. I gotta say, it's going to be a slight step above the D for dry pipe. But Sherlock pipes. Now, I've seen some very cool art on Sherlock pipes. I like Sherlock Holmes. He's a cool dude. Sherlock style is one of my favorite style pipes, but I gotta say, like, if I'm combusting flour out of it, I don't want to do it. But I got a nice little Sherlock, a nice little something to go with my proxy or something to go with some concentrate. I'm a fan. I'm down. I'm gonna put Sherlock at the B tier simply based on the fact that you can find some of the coolest artsy pieces you've ever seen in the style of a Sherlock piece. Let's see what we've got here. I got a lot of options here. We got single stage beaks, multi-stage beaks. Let's do some of these. Multi-stage beaker. This one doesn't have an angled down stem. It's shaped like a beaker, but it's a trick. It's not really a beaker. A beaker is a simple piece with an angled down stem. Kind of looks like this. Kind of looks like this. I know these are tiny little pictures. They're maybe not the best. But something shaped like a beaker, two-stage percolation. I don't think you need a lot of percolation. I think you just need better flour. If you're like, dang, I need more bubbles, I need more water contact, get better flour. These are also hard to clean, but you can get a nice smooth rip with something like that. I'm gonna put it at B tier because I have a couple of multi-stage pieces. And look, while they're not the easiest to clean, you can get some nice hits out of them. What else we got here? Let's do some dry options. We got Chillums, we got steamroller. Bro, steamrollers are bad, bro. Nah, steamrollers are not fun. Yeah, they got the longer stem like the Sherlock, so you get more time for the smoke to cool. The idea behind a steamroller is you're supposed to milk up the chamber like you would like a big old bong or something, and then you just clear it. You just steamroll it right into your throat. It's not fun. This looks like a smaller one. I've seen some big old steamrollers before. I don't know, dude. I'm putting this at C tier below dry pipe. I'd rather hit a spoon pipe, I think. Bro, gravity bong? First off, I don't know if I want to use a glass gravity bong. All of these are so small. I think I got the most fun or the most enjoyment out of a gravity bong when it was a gallon jug and it was like a nasty yellow smoke inside that plastic container. I already know I'm not going to be having a good hit, but I'm going to have a big old nasty hit that's going to make me stupid for a little bit. Gravity bongs, for me, there's a bit of nostalgia in there, but it's a terrible hit. So it's hard for me to rank. Like, the hit is bad, but the nostalgia's there for me. I'm probably gonna have to do a gravity bong stream in the future. I'm putting this guy at, we'll go C tier. I'd rather do this than a spoon pipe right now. What do we got here? One hitters. Bro, one hitters. A one hitter, the hit is so small. It's too small for me. You notice how they have 3 of them in this picture? You're gonna need a few. Yeah, it's a one hitter. You're gonna need to take 10 of them. Look, there's some bigger bowls and some one hitters, but it's like a very short dry pipe, and it's not gonna be super enjoyable. I'm putting one hitters at D tier, bruh. D for don't wanna do it. What else we got here? Let's write something good, bro. Single stage beaker, 45-degree angle down stem in the height range of 12 to 18 inches is ideal. I really like an 18-inch beaker, but some people, they got smaller lungs. That 16-inch, that 14-inch is gonna be a better option. But it's one of the best pieces that you can get. One of the best. I'm putting it at S tier, bro. Beakers are my favorite. I used to not like them, bro. Oh no, I got a removable down stem. I can break that and I have to replace it. Bro, it's the best. You'd rather break your down stem than your whole piece. It's easier to clean a piece with a removable down stem, especially for combustion. Beakers on top, bro. Beakers on top. All right, what else do we got here? This is like a little mini beaker. I feel like, I don't know why these are both on here. Look, I'm just gonna count this in the 8-inch and below category. Now, I will say for combustion, if I have a beaker smaller than 8 or 10 inches, I'm not gonna get the best hit, or I'm not gonna be able to take as big of a rip as I can. But on the reverse of that, with flower vapor, if I'm not combusting it, I can get a monster rip out of a smaller beaker because I get that vapor a little bit sooner. And as long as I'm not running my hammer or whatever I'm using too hot, I'm gonna get a nice, enjoyable hit. So I could really push the limits on a smaller one, but I will say I do prefer something a little bit larger at the end of the day. So I'm gonna put this on A tier. With all of the information I have, if I was only doing combustion, I'd probably rank this lower, but now I've got more categories to include. All right, what else do we got on the list here? I put ash catcher on here because it's like an attachment for a glass piece. I'm not going to talk about any specific ash catcher, but I will talk about them in general. I will say some ash catchers, they can make it nice for keeping your piece clean if you don't want to pull all that through. If you know you're going to be doing a bunch of dirty, nasty snaps and pulling that ash through. Something like this can help, but there's a lot of ash catchers. This style right here, you're most likely going to pull that dirty ash water through your piece. There's so many that they don't work like they look like they should work. I have some cheaper ones, some nicer ones. You got to do a lot with an ash catcher to make sure that water doesn't spill over. But one of the things that not everybody considers when they're adding an ash catcher to their piece is it's going to change the airflow. It's going to adjust how you have to hit the piece. So for the most part, I don't like them. I will use them here and there, especially if I'm trying to do something cool for the sesh. I'm going to put them at C tier, and they're kind of situational. I say for the most part, you probably don't need them. Just clean your piece every day. The idea behind an ash catcher is I'm going to delay when I need to clean my piece. Just clean your piece every day. It's easier, and now you don't have this extra other piece that got way dirtier that you also have to clean. All right, what else we got in here? Let's do, we got straight tube with a single perk and the multi-perk. Now, years ago, I used to be all about how many percolators can I get on one piece? How many can I add with ash catchers? How much water contact can I get with the smoke? I don't think like that anymore. I just started buying a better, higher quality flour, and you're like, you know what? I don't need all that water action. I just need a little bit to cool it, and everything else just makes it a pain, makes it harder to clean the glass. And you know what? I'm not getting a better hit as a result. So I will say multi-stage pieces, multiple stages of percolation is not my favorite anymore. Anything over 2, you're just having fun. You're just playing around at that point. I'm gonna put these on B tier. This one's 2-stage, not bad, but this one right here looks like it's got 3 discs in there. It looks like it's got at least 4 layers of percolation. I don't want to clean that piece. But a single stage straight tube, I will say I do prefer a single stage beaker. Beakers, it's got the tilt built into it. You got one with a 45-degree downstem, you can tilt that 45 degrees towards your face. You don't gotta wrench your neck. You don't gotta stand over it. You don't gotta look awkward while you're hitting it. You don't gotta accidentally tilt it because you're trying to get what you get from a beaker with your straight tube, but now you're ruining the percolation because you can't tilt your straight tube the same. I don't like the straight tubes as much in general, but I will say the single stage is better. I'm gonna gonna put this at the top of B tier. Top of B tier, not my favorite. I almost always would rather have a beaker, something I can tilt. All right, what else do we got on here? I know some of the pieces probably recycle on here, but I just included an RBR, your basic recycler right here. I really do like pieces that recycle the water. I feel like a lot of the times you can get just such a smooth, consistent pull, which for me, it's so good for vapor, flower vapor, concentrate vapor. A piece that doesn't recycle, the airflow changes over time with the hit. You're not getting the same pull if you pull on it for 20, 30 seconds or so. You're getting like a harder pull in the beginning and then a lighter pull towards the end of it. But a recycler will give you a nice consistent pull throughout the whole thing, which is very good for vapor, very good for flower and concentrate vapor. I would say other styles of pieces, some that's not recycling, like this single stage beaker is really great for combustion. You can start your pull off slow and then you can pull harder towards the end when you're trying to clear it, and it's not going to really change the flow too much. Recyclers, you want to keep a nice consistent pull on it and you're going to get the best results with that. There are different types of recyclers. Some things recycle the water differently, but I think a lot of people have maybe used something like this by now. I'd say recyclers on top. For concentrates, for flower vapor, you get the right size piece, the right style piece. The pull that you're going to get, very good. I would say S tier. Now we got another few fun options on here. Let's go with the Zong. I got a nice, I think 28-inch 5 kink Zong. I've seen wilder ones. I will say it's like one of my most fragile pieces. I'm afraid to use it because it's like it chips away every time I pull the downstem out to clean it. The actual Zongy part, the kinked tube, seems very tough, but the rest of it seems so fragile and frail. I don't know. I got the Zong Glass brand. It's very fun, but I remember there was a period where I was using it, and I had a lot of people questioning why it looks like that. What's the point of all the zigs and the zags on it? And if you ask me something like that, I can't help but mess with you, bro. I'm like, well, you know, obviously once the smoke goes up, it takes a left turn, it takes a right turn, it takes a left turn. The smoke's getting confused, and the more confused you get the smoke, the higher you're gonna get from the hit. What you don't want is clear-headed smoke. You want that smoke to be confused before it hits your lungs. Anyway, Zongs are fun. You can grab them by the kink. Some of them, especially if they have a kink that's pointed backwards towards you, you can fill it up a little bit extra, put some more water up into that perk and use that, or excuse me, up into that kink and use that as a little bit of an extra percolator. Zongs are fun, novelty, not the most fun to handle, especially if you got a larger one, but bruh, it's a dang all good time. I'm putting this on A tier right here. I like looking at my Zong more than I like hitting it, but every time I pull it out, it's like, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna get very high with this. All right, what else do we got on here? Let's go, bruh. Joint bubbler? Look, if I am smoking in a joint, it's very likely I'm gonna bust out the bubbler, but these things are nasty halfway through the joint. You got a gram in there, you got over a gram in there. It's nasty halfway through. There's barely any water in there, and a joint is dirty compared to just the flower by itself. Although, you know, we got some water action in there. I used to do a lot of moon rock joints in Colorado, and bruh, pulling it through the bubbler is nice. I'm putting this on C tier. Let's go, what do we got here? We got a Chillum, we got a glass blunt. Chillums are cool. This, it could be a one-hitter. Let's call it Chillums. I know you'll see them in different shapes here and there. I have some Chillums like this. It's cool to hit it like, you know, you kind of wedge the piece in between your fingers and you use your hand to hit it. That can be a cool smoking experience. I actually used to use a Chillum a lot when I would snowboard in Colorado. Just, bro, the pens didn't do it. I needed a rip, bro. I needed to feel it. And, you know, I warmed my hand up with the Chillum a little bit. I had to take the glove off, but when you're pulling some smoke through, it's not so bad. For me, I'm not really going to go for this, but I have a lot of nostalgia with Chillums. I'm going to put it at the top of C tier. I'd rather hit a Chillum than most spoon pipes. That's more fun. All right, what do we got? Glass blunt. These things are terrible. Like, actually using them, the picture here, oh yeah, bro, you fill it up, you screw in all the flour in there, and you know, you smoke towards the end, and every time you get some ash, you just roll that out. Like, the actual execution of this is terrible. They get all dirty and resin filled. You got some sticky flour. It's not gonna work very well. Also, it's a glass blunt. It's a blunt. Blunts are poop tier. Doesn't matter if they're glass or not. All right, what else do we got here? We got a mini rig. This one looks like it recycles, but let's just put it in the category of mini concentrate rigs. We've got that clear banger on there. I'll say if you're consuming concentrate, the smaller the piece, the better for flavor and the potency, or however you want to look at it. You're getting the vapor in your lungs, in your mouth and lungs sooner with a smaller piece, has less time to contact the air, and you're just overall getting way more flavor for the hit. Like if you got really juicy, really good, really terpy dabs, you're going to want to hit it out of a smaller piece, and you're not going to want to pull it through your 30-inch 7-kink zong. So I will say for concentrates, you get the right style piece, especially if it recycles. S tier, bro. S tier. This actually looks like some of the MJ rigs that I got. You know, we got a Cewpins code over at MJ Arsenal. All right, and the last one I got here, what is this? You know what? I have a couple pieces. Like, this is a bong cycler. This has multiple stages of percolation, and it has a recycling arm here. This has a banger on it, though. I'm not... Nah, this looks like it's 18 inches tall with a banger on it. I don't recommend it like the picture shows, but let's count it like a bong cycler. I think I have one or two, maybe, like 18 to 20-inch bong cyclers. It can be interesting, but it's not the best hit. Multiple stages. I don't know. This one looks like, if you're using it for concentrate, bro, D tier, maybe poop tier. Using it for flour, maybe it's a little bit higher. I'm thinking I'm putting this one, I don't know. Let's just put it higher on the B tier than the straight tube. I like how these both made it to B tier. Maybe this one's here. Maybe it's not. Maybe this one's lower, honestly. Maybe not. It's not that serious. So I get asked a lot about different glass pipes for different situations. I hope I covered a lot of like when I would use this and where, because some of these are situational. But either way, thanks for watching. Come get high with me on Twitch and have a lit day, my dudes.